And we are live. You already know who it is. My name is Mike Kyle, aka the Fantasy Vulture. I have over a decade worth of fantasy football experience and have continuously competed for fantasy championships over the course of the past 8 seasons. But enough of me, I'm here for you. On today's episode of the FV Show, we're going to continue through our NFL pre-draft rookie profiles, breaking down all of the high-end rookies in this draft class and looking at them through the lens of fantasy football. So if you're excited for this video talking about UNC running back Javonte Williams, be sure to hit that like button down below. Also smash that subscribe button so you never miss a video from me. Long story short, last week procrastinated a lot, and so I'm going to have 33 videos coming out over the course of the next 10 days or so. So it is grind week over here for sure. You don't want to miss any of the action, so be sure to definitely subscribe down below. And also, comment your thoughts on Javonte Williams down below. I know I got mine, and we're going to go through them in this video. Last but not least, you can follow me on all social media platforms at FFVulture. Appreciate you if you guys do that. And other than that, I'm actually just ready to jump right in. Before we start, though, talking about Javonte, we need to kind of just clarify, or I want to clarify something real quick. The videos going forward in terms of this rookie series, they're not going to be like the Trevor Lawrence, like the Kyle Pitts, or the Najee Harris that I did before. These are going to be way more condensed and really just, let's just get to the point. And it does all kind of tie back to the fact that I have 33 videos to make in 10 days. So hopefully these will be anywhere between like 5 and 10 minutes. Get you guys what you guys need. Get in, get out, and just on to the next. So let's go right into Javonte Williams, shall we? All right. Let's go. We are bringing back the highlights, though. Let's see, I can't hear anything. Can you hear anything? There we go. Alright. Let's go. Javonte Williams. He's 21. He's 5'10", 212 pounds, and ran a 4.6 40. So, let's talk about this kid. Guys, gotta be honest. This is my baby boy. This is my baby boy at the running back position. I love him. I love him so much. I think the thing that really sticks out for me is his profile and play style is very much a combo between a power style running back and an athlete. And those are more rare to come by. To me, he's just a really well-rounded running back. There's just times where he has speed that can just break away and get to that next level and ultimately into the end zone. And then you have plays like this where he's just able to truck stick 2 defenders and barrel his way into the end zone. He just does a lot of things really well. And on top of that, he really is an underrated pass catcher. And I mean, you're just looking at some of these highlights here, and it really is just a combination of a variety of different plays. And like, that was the thing that stuck out, is there was no one-dimensional guy. This wasn't just a barrel, a guy who's just gonna power through everybody. This wasn't a guy who just relies on straight speed. He does a little bit of everything, and it all just flows and gels really nicely into his game. Like right there, broken play, sneaks out, catches a pass, and takes it to the fucking house. His awareness, his awareness too, I think is really underrated, and like that's play that kind of defines that. But he just does a really good job of escaping defenders in the open field. He's not somebody who's going to, like, there'll be times where you watch tapes on some guys, and it's just like, well, you should have been able to break that tackle, you should have moved to the left or right to get away, and they just don't. And I felt like Javonte, when I was watching his tape, he definitely had that in him. Let's talk about some of his best seasons, which was last year. And I think the thing that makes this really interesting is you have to remember he was splitting time with Michael Carter, another high-end running back in this draft, who we're going to talk about in the next video. So that subscribe button down below if you want to stick around for that. So while splitting a backfield with Michael Carter, again, another top-tier running back, Carter's a step below Williams, but we'll talk about him when that time comes. So in a split backfield, Javonte Williams' best season, 157 carries, 1,100 rushing yards, caught 25 of 30 targets for 305 yards, and had 22 touchdowns. Like, that is as well-rounded of a season as you could possibly get when you're splitting time. Obviously, the groundwork is what's really impressive. What's that yards per carry? So he averaged 7.3 yards per carry. Again, only 157 carries. And that's the thing that I think is really interesting when we start talking about Javonte Williams, is the fact that he's 21 years old. And because he played in a system where he really was splitting a lot of work, he doesn't have the mileage that a lot of these other running backs have. I mean, we go over to Najee Harris, and Najee Harris had 251 carries this year alone. Travis Etienne had 207 carries 2 years ago, I think it was. Chuba Hubbard, during his season in 2019, had 328 carries. Wait, that can't be right. That number's got to be wrong. I might have typed that. I might have missed that. I might have mistyped that, because that seems way too high. 238, that seems more likely. Anyways, that's kind of the point though, right? Is all of these other players, a lot of these other running backs, just have a lot of mileage on them. And because Javonte Williams didn't play a lot as a freshman, only had 43 rush attempts, as a sophomore had 166, so a little bit more, it's not like he was having seasons of 200 plus carries and just taking a toll on his body. So that's something that's really interesting to note for me. And then also just his underrated ability as a pass catcher. We've saw a few highlights already where this is the guy who is able to just make that play, make the reception, and then extend the play thereon after. But the thing that I think gets lost with Javonte Williams is what Michael Carter was doing. Like, Michael Carter profiles more so as that pass catching back. But if you look at what Javonte Williams did in the pass game compared to Michael Carter, Javonte Williams was better. They had the same amount of receptions, they had the same amount of targets, and Javonte had more yardage by about 50 or so. So that's just something that's actually really fascinating, because comparatively between the two guys, Michael Carter is the one who you would expect to be like that complimentary third down back. But when you look at the reception comparisons, they are pretty much even, and Javonte's actually a step above, which I find really interesting. Now let's go over to the comparison that I have for Javonte Williams. There's not a whole lot of guys, admittedly, that I found comparable, just between the combination of his play style, whether it is like making the athletic cuts, whether that is barreling through defenders and just rolling through people, plays like this where you can extend a play and take it 40 yards to the house off of a nice cut. And the player that I landed on, and I love this so much, is Chris Carson of the Seattle Seahawks. Just fits that mold almost perfectly. Like right there, that play exactly is something that Chris Carson would do. Just kind of bounce into the outside, break a few tackles, and extend that play and just get a few extra yards. So I really like Chris Carson for this comparison, because one of the things that you've actually started to notice with Chris Carson's game is he has become a more reliable pass catcher. If you guys remember, just I think it was last year and a year and a half ago, to be honest, like the past 2 seasons for Chris Carson. Sorry, my headphones are falling off. The past two seasons for Chris Carson, this is the guy who has games of 6+ receptions. This is the guy who's consistently being targeted in the pass catching game, and I think like that is where like the additional value comes, right? Because we think Chris Carson, we pretty much think bruiser, power running back, just really well-rounded, and that's the same line that I think a lot of people view Javonte Williams as. But then we take it that further, and it's, oh shit, he actually does have the ability to be a pass-catching running back and be a 3-down back in the NFL. And so I love that comparison for Javonte Williams. And again, he's just this unreal combination of size, speed, and strength. Amazing at taking contact. He can extend plays, explodes off the screen. And what I mean by that is, one of the things I always look at when I'm watching these highlights is, what is the eye-popping, how much do my eyes pop when you are on the screen? Like, are you head and shoulders the best player on the field? Like, we look at this play, perfect example. Bursts through the first level, gets to the second, trucks through 3 defenders, end zone touchdown. Like, are you the best player on your own highlight tape? If I don't get that off you, I'm very much less interested than I would be, because if you can't, your highlights are supposed to make you stand out. So if you can't stand out in your own highlights, we got issues, and Javonte Williams is just a superstar in his highlights. Underrated pass catcher, like I said, and again, way less mileage on him compared to some of the other running backs. But that's pretty much all I got. Like, I love him. I guess just kind of go one more thing. Where I have Javonte Williams right now, Javonte Williams is my number 2 running back on my rookie board. He's my number 2 running back on my rookie board behind Najee Harris, but I like Javonte Williams more. It's just one of those things where taking off the rose-colored goggles and looking at everything in a well-rounded and a holistic perspective, Najee Harris, it should be the first running back off of the board. But I've been seeing the Javonte Williams hype for a few months now, and admittedly I am a UNC fan, but just seeing the hype and the explosion of the national media and the national attention garner towards Javonte is super cool. I know PFF has Javonte Williams actually as the number 1 running back in this draft class, so maybe saying that isn't too extreme, but I do just think that comparatively, comparing Javonte Williams to Najee Harris is just that Derrick Henry that can catch passes, and that's really, really incredible. But that doesn't make Javonte Williams a bad prospect by any stretch of the imagination. So Javonte Williams is my number 2. That being said, he's actually my number 1 running back target based on where my pick is in my rookie draft. So I have the number 3 pick, but so I expect Najee to be gone. I don't know what number 2 is going to be. But if I had to pick between Travis Etienne and Javonte Williams, I'm going to take Javonte Williams. So that's all I got. Let's flip back here. So that's all I got for this video, this little profile for Javonte Williams. If you enjoyed, be sure to hit that like button down below. Really appreciate that. Let me know your comments and your thoughts on Javonte Williams in the comment section below as well. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a video from me, and I will see you in the next video. Remember, people come and go, but fantasy championships are forever. And let's come back here for Michael Carter in just a few hours, shall we?